Okay, what we're doing today is we're going to frame out the bottom of this shower. We've got the half walls built here, and if you notice, the carpentry doesn't have to be exact. This is all going to be covered up, but it's got to be strong that it doesn't give. And we've got a little bit of a slope here, so the water will run off. But now, all along this bottom edge here, we have to build a wall such that when we put the cement base in here, it's contained within this shower. So what I've done is I've measured all the little spaces and I've cut all my boards, and now I'm going to start installing them. My number 1 block, and I'm just going to toenail this in here. I've got some long screws, 3 and some inches long. And I've got the round bit in here. I've got a Phillips and I need a star. Buy construction screws, you can either get a Phillips head or you can get this little star. And I'd recommend you get the star because they don't spin out so much. If you don't have an impact driver, get an impact driver. If that board splits a little bit, it's no big deal. This is not structural. All it does is it prevents the mud or the mortar, cement, that we're gonna build this up with from. If I don't put it in quite so far, it doesn't split. And if this isn't flush, that's not a big deal either. All right, let me have the next one. This is the next one. Fits a little tighter, no big deal. This one happens to be treated lumber. The other was not. I'm just using scraps of stuff I had laying around. This is all going to get covered. It's not going to get exposed to any moisture whatsoever. And I'm just going to continue around. I'll show you when I'm done. While I'm doing this, if you have access, you can just screw it from the other side. And there's really no need to put any more than 1 screw in, because this is not going anyplace. Another way you can toenail them in is just go from the other side. One thing you'll notice when you're working here, the older the wood is, these 2x4s that I'm drilling through are probably 20 years old. They are dry and hard. The ones, the other ones go in pretty easy. Okay, I've put all my little pieces of wood in here, as you can see. What I've got is, I've got the half walls, and at each half wall I've got a little seat that I've put in. We're going to have 2 shower heads in here, so that's all plumbed. One over here, and then I got another one over here. This one's a little higher up. Our son is taller. This one's a little lower for our daughter-in-law, who's a little shorter. And I did the same thing with the benches. This one's. Now, is there a right design or wrong design? I don't know, but this is my way. If you look on the internet, you're going to find about 10 different ways how to do this, and this is how I do it. The next step is I have to cover this whole floor with felt roofing paper, but we also have here our drain. And what I'm going to do is I have to build this up with concrete or a mix such that I have slope, such that the water runs towards this drain. And one of the things that you want is for about every foot you want about a 1/4 inch drop. Well, the thing that's going to be apparent that this space here is about 2 feet. This space here is probably closer to 3 feet. Well, I don't want my floor to be all different heights, so I sort of pick a common. So this is going to have a little bit more slope here and a little bit slope here, but I'm sitting here on the floor, and if I go directly straight up from my drain, and that's where my shower heads are going to be. So most of the water is going to run right into the drain. I don't know if you can see this, but what I have here is I laid a little board on the edge of my drain. I am now level, and over here I've marked a line, and that tells me what is level with the top of my drain. And then I've gone over here and I've measured a 1/2 inch up from that, and that is roughly 1 inch or 1/4 inch for every foot. This happens to be 19 inches, so I got a little bit more slope. And now what I want to do is I want to go pretty much keep it level and go all the way around this and mark the height, and that's going to be the height of where my first base mortar cement is going to be. So I'm going to mark it all the way around, and then I'll double check and make sure that I have slope. Okay, I've gone around and you can see that I've measured all the way around, and it turns out that it's about just the exact thickness of my level. And it means that my first pour of mud is going to be about, I don't know if you can see that or not, about 2 inches, 2 1/4 inches. Okay, so after that I got to put another layer of mud. Okay, it turns out that this is just a little about 2 1/4 tall, and that's where my first pour of mud is going to be, and then I'll come up another 1.5 inches, and that'll be my base of my shower finished. So what I now have to do is I have to cover this whole floor with roofing felt. I'm going to staple that down, and I'll come back with that.